Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you the Emboss Resist technique using Floral Snowflakes and several of the Distress Oxide colors. So this is the Floral Snowflakes stamp set. I'm also going to use the sentiment from Wonderland card making and a variety of glitter papers and cardstocks. Okay, so I have loaded all of these snowflakes into my MISTI. All of the snowflakes on that set except for the border strip and the largest are here. And I'm going to stamp on white cardstock using Versamark ink. Okay, so this is my Chucky tool and it gives me a even pressure throughout my MISTI so everything gets stamped down. And I'm using some Nuvo embossing powder. This is a glitter pearl, but you can use a clear embossing powder. This one, it embosses out clear, but it's got some little sparkle to it as well. Okay, so I'm gonna tap off the excess and then I'll heat that up with my heat tool and melt all of that embossing powder, brushing off a few strays with a paintbrush. And I'll heat it up real quick and melt that embossing powder. It's hard to see on camera, but once we do the resist technique, you'll see. Okay, so I'll funnel the rest into back into the jar. That piece of cardstock is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, so I'll leave a border of glitter paper around it when I start putting my card together. Okay. So now we're ready to start laying down some oxide. So the first one, I'm going to make 2 cards today. So the first one, I'm going to use Salty Ocean, Blueprint Sketch, and Prize Ribbon. Okay, so I'm using my sponge tool and I'm just laying down a layer of Salty Ocean, and then I'll use the Blueprint Sketch, and I'm leaving a little bit of space between the colors because then I'll bring each color in to blend them together. And then Prize Ribbon. And this is my first time using Prize Ribbon, and had I known it was lighter than Blueprint Sketch, I would have put that at the bottom and then Prize Ribbon in the middle, but that's okay. It still worked out. So now I'm just going back and forth and blending each of the colors together. So I actually get additional colors between the 3 that I used. So once they blend, it makes another color. So it's just a soft blend of each color into the next. I think I like that. Okay, now this is the resist technique. You just take your paper towel and you wipe off the oxide that is on the embossed area, and then you can see the white cardstock shine through. And with this one, it really pops. So pretty. Okay, so then I have another new product. It's Tim Holtz Distress Mica stain, and this one is in Snow Flurries, and I just spritzed a couple of spritzes over the whole card base, and it just gives a lot of shimmer and shine. Okay, we'll make the next one and then we'll build I'm kind of making 2 cards at the same time. So this one I'm going to clear emboss on the new Wildberry cardstock. And I've got my snowflakes stamped out using Versamark ink, and then I'll use the Nuvo Shimmer Pearl embossing powder. So this one is going to be real subtle look because the Wildberry is the color that is going to shine through. Okay, so got that embossing powder melted, and then we'll start blending. So the colors I'm using are Picked Raspberry, Wilted Violet, and the new Villianous Potion. Okay, and the Picked Raspberry is almost exactly the same as Wildberry. In case you're looking to color match, that one's a good match. So I've got that down on the first layer, and then I'm going to go into Wilted Violet, and then at the bottom is Villianous Potion. So I'll just do the same thing and blend all my colors together and just keep going back and forth until I'm happy with the way the panel looks. So you can pull colors up or layer them down. The great thing about oxides is that you can layer lighter colors on top of darker colors, and rather than blending together, they'll sit on top. And then I'm going to do the same technique and just take a paper towel and wipe off the excess off of the snowflake embossed images, and then you can see that wild berry color popping through. And I'm going to use some of this Tim Holtz mica spray, and this color is called winterberry. I'll spritz some of that on top, and it gives a nice shimmery effect. So I'll set that one aside to dry, and then we're ready to start building cards. Okay, so I'm going to emboss my sentiment that says warm wishes, and I'm going to heat emboss this sentiment in white embossing powder. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that out in Versamark ink. One of them I'm doing on sapphire cardstock and the other I'm doing on black cardstock. So I'm going to do them both at the same time. I'll sprinkle white detail embossing powder on them. It pops nicely on dark cardstock. And then we'll get those heated up and melted. Okay. So I'll show you on camera how to do one, and it's the same process for the other one. I'm going to create some banners. So I'm going to trim up my sentiment, and it's not a set size, but it winds up being about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to trim around it. And then I'll flag out each of the ends. So to create a banner, you just snip vertically in the center, and then you take each corner to meet that snip to create your banner. So snip, and then snip and snip, and you've got your banner. Super quick and easy. Okay, so now we can start building our card. Just going to touch up the Emboss Resist there. And I'm going to layer this on sapphire glitter paper. Bring out the beautiful blues in that panel. So we'll lay that down, and then I'm going to bring in some craft foam, and I'm just cutting this a little bit smaller than my embossed panel, and we'll glue that down with Tombow white glue. Pretty simple. I wanted it to sit a little bit higher so you could see more of that sapphire glitter paper. Get that glued down. And then we'll pop the sentiment as well. So I'm going to set that up with a block. And then I'll layer my wild berry panel on a card base as well. So I'm wiping off the excess off of those snowflakes that are embossed. Get them to show it a little bit more. And then I'll cut my craft foam. This is just thin craft foam, and I get it off Amazon. It comes in sheets of 8.5 by 11. And then I'm going to layer this on black glitter paper. And same way with Tombow glue. And then we'll get that one to set up. And then I'll work on the other one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to layer my sentiment with some thin foam tape. Wasn't sure exactly where I wanted it, and I decided in the center there. And then I'm going to add some extra bling and sparkle. These are the snowflake sequins, and then I've got some bluebell sequins as well, and they're both still available. I'll make a list of all the supplies. Some are not available through Close to My Heart, so there's another section below that I'll list all those supplies in. But most of them are available through Close to My Heart. I'm going to scatter some of these bluebell sequins around as well. They're all kind of iridescent and in blue colors. Super pretty. I'll get those glued down with aqua Tombow glue. Okay, and then we'll have some close-up shots in a second. I love how this one turned out. Look at all that shimmer and shine. It's so pretty. Love it. Love me my snowflake cards. Okay. All right, so now let's do the wild berry one. I'm buffing this one out just a little bit more. If you like white snowflakes rather than the wild berry ones, you could do it on a white card base with these colors as well. So I'm going to layer my sentiment in the center. And then I'm going to lay down some of these iridescent snowflake sequins. And then I have some wild berry sequins. I'm going to put some of those around as well. Scatter them all around. I love how those iridescent snowflake sequins pop on this card. They're so pretty. So I'll get a whole bunch of those laid down same way, and then I'll have some close-ups as well. All right. So pretty. Okay. And then that card is done. So I appreciate you watching my video today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and then you can find all of my videos. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.